started training Muay Thai back in '98. That's when I first started. I had no martial arts experience before then. The only thing that I had was my father, who raised us in big fans of boxing. So we grew up watching a lot of boxing. And he bought me my first hand wraps and my first gloves and my first headgear, and he taught me how to put my hands up and how to punch and all that. But it was, you know, father, son, this is how you're gonna fight if you ever have to type of deal. And then when I moved here, I found out about the academy, and I found out, you know, that jiu-jitsu was like the thing that you had to do if you wanted to beat up everybody, because, you know, the UFC had just started and that's what was winning. So I found the academy, and I found that they had Muay Thai here too. So I did jiu-jitsu and I did Thai boxing, but then Thai boxing just became my main focus, and that's how I picked up. Little by little, I just moved up the ranks, got an instructorship, started teaching, you know, assistant instructor like. And then I got to run the program, so I was kind of good. My first fight, my mother hid in the bathroom the whole time. She would not want to watch the fight. That was the first and last time they came to my fights, my parents. It was very scary for them, you know, and it was for me too. But it was good. The training was intense up into the fights. You know, we had seen you know, videos of Muay Thai fights, and we had seen other fights, and we wanted to fight, and I knew I wanted to fight. And then I trained hard for at least 3 months, I think, consistently, knowing that I had a fight. I had it marked out on my calendar and everything. And then I went in and I fought. I think I was losing the first round. I have it on tape, and I've convinced myself that I'm not losing, but I'm pretty sure I was losing that first round. And then I came out the second round. My brother had already fought earlier, and he had won his fight. So I thought, you know, I have to win my fight too. You know, I can't go home the loser. So I came out my second round, and I really just tried my best, and I actually got the TKO in the second round. So I was good for my first match. I was pretty good. I won that first match. It was a lot of fun. And even with the victory, I never was able to convince my parents to come out again.
Yeah. Just put it there. So your body's in. Yes.
I took my first fight, I believe, about 2 years after I started, or about a year and a half after I started. It was like 2006. And I had been training 2 to 3 times a week, and you know, we were all very competitive with each other inside the academy. We would even set up fights amongst ourselves, just for fun competition. And then a fight was presented to us, and it was in Philadelphia. I signed up as soon as I heard about it. And very first fight, I managed to win by knockout. It was probably one of the most exciting fights on the card. I was lucky for that. And that only further pushed me into the sport. It made me want to be more on the competition side.
I wish I could say that I decided to enter into tournaments, but the first time I fought, I showed up and there was a kid in my weight class who had no opponents. My instructor walks over and says, "Hey, you want to fight?" And I was without gear, without anything. I wore my sister-in-law's shorts. I wore my brother's shirt, and I just became a scavenger for gear and fought my first fight at 13 years old. After that, it just became addicting. I fought at 15 and I won, and then I fought at 17 against a SWAT team cop. Now that was what freaked me out. I'm a teenager fighting a cop, and I won. And after that, it just became a ball that started rolling downhill.
I actually started with Taekwondo. My mom would take me as a kid, and I really liked it. It was more kind of a workout type of thing, but I really started to do Muay Thai instead as an adult because I started watching all these cool flicks with, you know, Nikita and like kicking butt, and what girl doesn't want to kick butt? So I started doing it with my boyfriend at the time, which is now my husband.
My first fight as a Yamasaki competitor, I lost by TKO in the first round because I stepped in there ready to lose already. I felt like I didn't do enough to prepare. There were things going on in my life where I wasn't able to dedicate enough time to it, or enough attention to it, or maybe enough maturity to it. So already in the locker room, I had this seed planted in my head that I'm not ready to go in there. When I stepped in the ring, not wanting to be in the ring, which is the worst thing for a fighter to feel. But it's been kind of the pattern where every single combat sport I've gone into, the first time I've gone into it, I've lost. And I've spent a long time thinking about it, and then I've seldom lost after that. For me, it's always a learning experience, but losing isn't really a big deal to me anymore. The only way that I would regret losing is if I knew that I could have beaten the guy. If the guy came out and he was better, then I wouldn't complain.
As trite as this sounds, I was watching UFC fights and going to local fights, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. This is an awesome sport. And then I was like, why am I sitting on the sidelines when I could be doing it? So I finally got up the nerve to come here and start training Muay Thai. And that's the high level of why I got into it. I wear pink a lot, and so when I first brought in pink gloves, yeah, that was kind of embarrassing. Everyone commented on me having pink gloves. So next time I get gloves, they're not gonna be pink, but they're gonna be like animal print or something, yeah.
I think all students in general will tell you that Muay Thai is a really hard sport, but I think it's harder on girls because I think girls want to prove more. They really want to feel like part of the team, and they really want to prove that they can be just as good. So first class is tough.
Well, my hopes for my future are to compete as often as I can, as much as I can, until nature tells me that I cannot anymore. And then I plan to teach it for the rest of my life. I think that I can do what I love and I can make good money at it as long as I'm clever and smart about it. So I plan on owning my own school, being an affiliate of the Yamasaki Academy, a little bit further away from here. And ideally, I would just train fighters and train people who love martial arts until I cannot teach anymore. And then I'll just hang out at my academy while my instructors teach the students. So hopefully, me here, like I am now, will be me at 80. Just with a lot more experience.
I think one of the greatest experiences that I've had during Muay Thai is just the bond and the friendship and the relationships that are established through training with partners. There's guys in this academy that are like brothers, that are like family, that have really played a very important role in my life, and are mentors, are people that I look up to and I seek for counsel.
Of course, I have my little daydreams about Muay Thai in which I pick out fight songs, imagine what my MMA clothing line would look like and how it would feel to be on a televised fight. But that's probably not going to happen. But in any case, it would be fun. So until then, I'm just going to keep working as hard as I can, working on getting as good as I can, and at very least, I want to get my black belt.
I always say I'm not going to fight again, and I've retired once already, and I came out of retirement. So never say never. If the right fight comes my way and I have that itch, you'll most likely see me in the ring again.